Imagine waking up 5 years from now. You don't reach for your phone to check your calendar, clear your inbox, or coordinate your commute. The meetings have been rescheduled to accommodate your actual energy levels. Your groceries have been ordered based on your nutritional goals, and your travel plans have been adjusted for a weather delay you didn't even know was coming. This isn't science fiction, and it isn't just about a smarter chatbot. It's the shift from AI as a tool we poke at with prompts to AI as an agent that actually gets things done. We ask, the machine answers, and we do the heavy lifting. But the trajectory of artificial intelligence is bending sharply toward autonomy. We're moving toward a world where software acts on our behalf, navigating complex systems to execute our intentions, rather than just providing us with data. Research shows that the amount of processing capacity dedicated to training these models has been doubling at a pace that dwarfs historical technological leaps. Experts predict that if this exponential growth continues, the models of 2030 will possess a level of reasoning and reliability that makes today's most advanced AI look like a basic calculator. Engineers have developed new ways to make these systems agentic, meaning they can now break down a massive goal, like planning a cross-country move or managing a corporate supply chain, into a series of logical, self-directed steps. It's no longer about just predicting the next word in the sentence. It's about navigating the messy, unpredictable reality of our daily lives. We're building systems that can handle ambiguity, learn from their mistakes in real time, and hold the context of your entire life in their memory. But as these systems gain the ability to act, the stakes change. It's one thing to get a wrong answer on a trivia question. It's entirely another to hand over the keys to your professional and personal logistics. To answer that, we need to look at the infrastructure, the physical and digital backbone that will actually hold this new world together. That infrastructure, however, didn't just manifest out of thin air. Back then, if you wanted a computer to recognize a stop sign, you needed an army of people to highlight thousands of images, box by box, until the system could distinguish a red octagon from a stray piece of graffiti. It was slow, expensive, and frankly, a bit brittle. It was necessary, but it certainly wasn't scalable. Then came the shift that changed everything. The transformer architecture. They could process a sentence, but they'd lose the thread of the conversation halfway through. When engineers developed the transformer, they essentially gave AI a global view of language. They could finally understand context, nuance, and the subtle relationships between words, even if they were paragraphs apart. It was a massive leap from simple pattern matching to a sophisticated grasp of structure. This is where the leap to generative AI happened. Data suggests that by feeding these massive neural networks vast swaths of the internet, they began to internalize the logic of human communication. We moved from the era of if-then commands to an era of probabilistic generation. Today's large language models are effectively massive statistical engines that have mapped the contours of human knowledge. It's a remarkable evolution, but it leaves us with a lingering question. The transition from these clever algorithms to the reality of 2030 depends on something far more tangible than code. It depends on the raw, physical capacity of our hardware to keep up with the demands of a thinking machine. But that physical capacity is only half the story. Right now, most of us interact with AI through text prompts, essentially typing into a digital void. But that's changing fast. By 2030, the AI on your desk or in your pocket will process video feeds, ambient audio, and spatial data simultaneously, creating a seamless stream of sensory input that mirrors how we navigate the world ourselves. Instead of waiting for a single output, the system is constantly watching, listening, and adjusting. This is what researchers call multi-modal integration. This sensory leap paves the way for what's known as agentic workflows. This is the real game changer. You don't ask it to write a travel itinerary. You tell it to plan, book, and coordinate your entire summer vacation. Data suggests that these agentic systems are already moving out of the lab, transitioning from passive calculators into active collaborators. They act as a digital project manager that never sleeps, constantly iterating on the plan as new information arrives. These systems are being trained to handle the messy middle of life, the moments when things go wrong and a standard script wouldn't suffice. By combining vision and logic, these agents can identify that a delivery driver left your package in the rain, calculate the risk of damage, and automatically message your neighbor to move it to the porch. However, as these agents gain the independence to act on our behalf, we hit a new kind of wall. As we hand over the keys to our digital lives, we have to consider the safety rails keeping these powerful systems in check. But even as we navigate those ethical guardrails, the horizon of 2030 looks less like a sci-fi dystopia and more like a high-octane upgrade to the daily grind. We are moving toward a world of radical hyper-personalization, where the friction of modern life simply dissolves. If your biometrics shift, your AI agent coordinates with your primary care physician to adjust your preventative treatment before you even feel a symptom. It's the shift from reactive medicine to proactive wellness, turning your health record into a living, breathing map of your longevity. Imagine an AI tutor that knows exactly how you process information. If you're a visual learner struggling with organic chemistry, the system doesn't just repeat the textbook. It generates bespoke simulations and real-world analogies tailored to your specific interests, whether that's cooking, sports, or gaming. It turns the educational experience from a chore into a personalized mentorship that evolves alongside your intellectual growth. Software development is becoming democratized. By 2030, you won't need to be a coding wizard to build a robust application. If you have an idea for a business tool or a creative project, you'll describe your vision to an agent, and it will handle the architecture, the debugging, and the deployment. We're moving into an era where human intent is the only bottleneck to innovation. To summarize the journey, we are transitioning from tools that we operate to partners that operate with us. The tech isn't just getting faster, it's getting more attuned to the nuances of our specific human needs. Looking ahead, the goal isn't to replace the human experience, but to amplify it, to strip away the repetitive, the mundane, and the administrative, leaving us more room to focus on the creative and relational work that defines us. If you found this exploration of technology fascinating, consider subscribing to stay ahead of the curve as these trends continue to unfold.